them heavily. They are not locked, they are only latched. Please do not open them until we come back to the station at the very end of the tour. While we are moving, please remain in your seats. However, if we do come to a complete stop, which we'll do a few times along the way, that's your chance to stand up and take a photo or get a closer look, and then sit back down once we start moving again. If you have a medical emergency, for medical emergencies, press the yellow strip over your left or right shoulder to get my attention, and I'll help you out. If you are in the front car, we do not have those yellow strips, but you can just shout and wave at me to get my attention, and I'll help you as well. That's for medical emergencies only. For non-medical situations, like cell phones dropping overboard, hats flying away, dropping your cameras or other valuables over the railings, we will not stop to pick it up, so please keep all valuables inside the trams at all times. I repeat, please keep your valuables inside the trams. And finally, as a common courtesy, please silence cell phones, keep conversations to a minimum volume, so that we can all observe everything going on out today, because already we're starting to see some animals out there. I'm sure some of you noticed that there's quite a few giraffes off in the distance, over on the field to our left, but if we draw our eyes to the right for a moment, if you look past these trees laying down in the grass in the shady area, you might see a cat with spots. That's a South African cheetah, the world's fastest land animal, able to run up to 70 miles per hour by taking advantage of its natural physical adaptations, like flexible spines, non-retractable claws that work like built-in cleats, hands on their feet that are tough and rubbery like tire treads. These things add up and give them the traction and speed they need to catch prey out in the wild. And if you'd like to see them in action, make sure to be at the cheetah run that takes place at 3:30 p.m. right by the lion camp that you likely pass by on the way here. Back over to our left side, some birds that look like they're wearing crowns of yellow feathers on their heads, the African crown cranes, as well as a large boulder-like creature with wiggly, cup-shaped ears, the southern white rhino, resting beneath the tree, kind of that little valley between the hills off to our left-hand side. Rhinos have notoriously bad eyesight, but make up for it with their excellent ears that work like satellite dishes, swiveling around scanning their surroundings. They also have an excellent sense of smell too, so they can, that rhino out there most certainly can hear us, and if we stick around long enough for our particles to drift over that way, they'll eventually be able to smell us too. But as much as I'd love to sit and stare at rhinos all day, there are many more things to see. This is a 25 to 30 minute tour after all, so we are going to continue. Not to worry, we'll make our way back, and we might see them even closer on the way back to the station. As we continue our way forward now, passing by to our right side, what a few greater flamingos, the largest flamingo species with those bright pink feathers, getting a lot of that coloration from pigments found in their diet, which may include crustaceans and algae and other reddish pigmented foods. That explains then why some of them are small, fuzzy, and gray. Those are baby flamingos, hatched within the past several months. It's pretty much towards the end of their breeding season now, and we've had 21 flamingo hatchlings, last count I heard anyway. They start off looking like that, turning bright pink over time. The fact that we have these baby flamingos and baby animals in general is always exciting and important for us, because we are more than a zoo, more than just a good place to see flamingos and lots of other animals today, more than just a good park to be at this weekend with your families and friends, enjoying the nice summer sun, more than just a good place to catch Pokemon and cast spells, if you know what I'm talking about. This is all first and foremost a breeding facility for animals, especially those that may be threatened or endangered. Even before this park opened up to the public in the early 70s, this was all a breeding facility for the animals down at the San Diego Zoo down in Balboa Park, which you can always visit by using a membership, because they work year-round at both places, so make sure to check it out. If you're looking over to our right side, you might see a mule deer. That deer there is one of the local wildlife who have apparently roamed into what's known as the Nikita Rhino Rescue Center, which is home to 6 female southern white rhinos and 1 male named Mayoto, and which, if we pause right here, it is safe to stand if you like. Take a look toward the left-hand side, see if you can say hi to Mayoto. He's just kind of resting beneath one of the trees out there. Now, These systems says female southern white rhinos in the back area, out of sight unfortunately, but hopefully the females will eventually be surrogate mothers for their near extinct relatives, the northern white rhino, because guess how many northern white rhinos there are left on the planet? Not 1,000, not 100, it's just 2. Why has life been so tough for them and for rhinos in general, despite being these living tanks with horns on the front of their faces? Did you see males as horns? Now, look at your fingernails and even touch your hair. Guess what? Rhino horn is made of the same stuff, protein called keratin that all of us have. Unfortunately, those horns are believed to be medicine in certain cultures, part of traditional medicine, and that then means that people demand their horns, which means then that there are poachers willing to target and kill them and sell their horns at an average of 3 per day. This is part of what's known as the wildlife trafficking trade. This problem that affects not just rhinos, but many others too, like elephants poached for their ivory, pangolins poached for their scales, lions, tigers, giraffes, and many others poached for their various parts. Many of these animals also trapped and sold as exotic pets. This is all part of the wildlife trafficking trade. And sadly, it's not the only problem that wildlife is facing, as many of them are also suffering from habitat loss, losing their homes, food, water, shelter, breeding grounds, losing their place in the world. This too largely due to human activity. Habitat loss, wildlife trafficking, other challenges they face out in the wild, it's no wonder that wildlife has become endangered, meaning without help, without direct intervention, a change in action, many of them face the risk of extinction. Gone for good. That's where we come in. Because again, this is more than a zoo, more than all the things we just talked about. We're also a wildlife sanctuary. With the resources and research-backed expertise necessary to protect all these animals we'll be seeing out here today, including those pelicans in the waters, those large white birds with large gular pouches, the specialized bag-like beak of the pelican they use to scoop up fish. They like to go hunting for fish throughout the day. They are social hunters too, often seen traveling together in groups. More than just a good place to experience all of them, this is a good place to protect them. As a wildlife sanctuary, we're able to give them a fighting chance, we're able to protect them, give them a shelter, give them a place in which they can exist and have a future. And we work together with other wildlife sanctuaries across the world as part of the species survival plans that work together, kind of working like an animal dating service of sorts, matching them up, getting them where they need to be to get their population numbers back up, getting them back out into the wild whenever we can. That's what we do here at San Diego Zoo Global. And so keep that in mind as we go around this large natural field habitat today, that it's not just a great place to see them, it's a great place to protect them. These efforts are especially important for these guys to the right. If you look up the hill to the right with black and white stripes, Grevy zebra, the largest and the most threatened of zebra species, numbering at just about 2,500 left in their native habitats. 2,500. That's it. That's why they're here. And as long as you get to experience wildlife firsthand like this, that allows us to be more aware of their situations and more informed of the facts, allowing us to make some better choices that might help. I think that's what we're all about, trying our best to make good choices. Like you're making today by being here, learning more, being a part of this. So with that said, let's see what we find. Now, another brief pause next to this bird marsh to our right, because not only do we have birds like those African crown cranes again, strutting their stuff looking like they're wearing an elegant crown of yellow feathers, but do you see those black and white feathers and birds towards the back beneath the trees? Those are Rupel's vultures, and vultures are scavengers, which means they eat carrion, dead, rotting flesh and tissue infested with disease and bugs. That's great news, because by doing so, by eating carrion, they do all of us a favor. They help to keep all those insects and all the disease in check. They keep it under control. They help to recycle nutrients back into the soil, fertilizing plants. They're basically mobile recycling centers and hazmat crews. Essential scavengers are very similar. They're important, and we can't take them for granted. But unfortunately, many scavengers, like vultures, have been going endangered because we humans poison their food sources whenever we poison animals, treating them as pests, hunting them with lead bullets, or otherwise leaving toxic substances out. So we've got to remember to pick up after ourselves. If we do that, they can do their jobs too. We've got red river hogs right past them on our right side still, the cute red shaggy cousins of pigs that we may be just a bit more familiar with. Keen senses of smell allow them to detect any food or other bits of interest dispersed throughout this area by the keepers, which is not a great way to feed them, but it's a good way to keep them active, allowing them to use their natural habits and instincts. This is part of the enrichment process, the enrichment opportunities we provide not just for the red river hogs, but for all of our animals. Keepers well aware of the natural habits, natural instincts of these animals, encouraging them to use them by providing them appropriate food, appropriate habitats, appropriate lifestyles, even appropriate toys when applicable. We've got now over to our left-hand side a large panoramic view of this whole area. Towards the tops of the hill, the large tan antelopes, the Patterson's elands can be spotted. A little bit far away from us right now though, so we'll keep them in mind, and once we make our way towards that higher end, we'll likely get a closer look at them. Along the way, noticing a few other herds of owls, the shaggy brown waterbucks, ellipse and waterbuck gathered beneath one of the trees up there, as well as some more chocolatey brown colored sable antelopes as well. Lots of these herds of antelopes take advantage of the fact that there is safety in numbers. They're also often looking off in different directions, not facing one another, not chatting it up as we might, but rather watching off in different directions, protecting one another in what's known as the alert circle behavior, one of the most effective strategies for survival. We also have, just up ahead to our left, a brief pause allowing us to say hi to one of our youngest giraffes out here today. Born just a few months ago, little baby giraffe off to our left side there. Very tiny and adorable compared to some of the more fully grown adults we'll see up ahead in just a bit. But keep in mind, you are looking at a member of the tallest land mammals on the planet, and as such, even baby giraffes are about the size of a human adult, about 5 to 6 feet in height. Imagine giving birth to a 6-foot tall baby, and then watching it triple in size, growing to be about the size of a 2-story building. We have a few more juveniles just up ahead around this makeshift tree, this basket hung up on a tree trunk, like an artificial tree, allowing them to eat in a much more natural way. Not only do giraffes have long legs and long necks, but they have very long tongues as well, about an inch of tongue for every foot of height that they have. So if you think about it, it's about potentially reaches up to about a foot. Prehensile tongues too. They're able to wrap around the often thorny branches of the acacia trees that they're so fond of eating from. We can see a few of the adults up ahead. Just past the giraffes, over to our left, are the Cape buffaloes with black coats, battering ram-like horns. Very powerful creatures. They too often seen looking off in direction in their own protective alert circles. A brief pause allowing us to say hi to these very large, powerful creatures out here. But I do have a bit of sad news. Maybe some of you are aware of the problems that have been coming upon the giraffes lately, at least within the past few decades, because studies have found within just the past 30 years, almost 40% of the world's giraffe populations have been wiped out. And that's largely been due to the problems of habitat loss and wildlife trafficking, things we just talked about earlier, affecting not just giraffes but so much of wildlife. And right now, that's what we're dealing with. If you've heard the expression, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago and the second best time is now, that same thing could be said of saving giraffes and much of wildlife. Of course, we can't go back in time, so the next best thing we can do is to act now. So please help us spread the message. Talk to your families, your friends, your neighbors, your classmates and teachers, your co-workers, the businesses you support, the people who represent you, and the people you represent. Let's all have a conversation about what's going on in the world. Let everyone know that wildlife needs our help more than ever. To put an end to wildlife trafficking, to stop purchasing the parts of threatened and endangered species, not supporting these causes, and all of us reducing resource consumption so that further natural habitats don't get cleared out. It's time for all of us to make some good choices while we still can. Because if we wait another 30 years without doing anything, they might be gone for good. You got to our right-hand side now, a very large camel laying down in the sand. Say hi to Dune. He's about 12 years old. He's a dromedary camel. Steady pace upward. Let's see what else we find. Looks like one of the keepers filling up one of the troughs out there. Keepers working tirelessly around the clock, making sure all of our animals are well looked after, well fed, well taken care of. And if any of our animals have a medical emergency, we have an animal hospital right on grounds that they're rushed right over to. So they've got top-notch healthcare out here. As we climb further on up, small reddish-orange colored antelope, the Uganda cobs, can be seen. Also far off to our left side, gathered beneath one of the trees, doing a rather remarkable job of camouflaging, of blending in beneath the tree, despite being those large brown antelopes with white stripes. Those are the greater kudu, who utilize those stripes as camouflage to allow them to more effectively blend in amongst the trees. Shadows cast by the trees kind of line up with their stripes. That's where they feel safest. We've got more Uganda cobs up here to our left. They too actually doing a decent job of camouflage, not from those of us with red and green color vision perhaps, but from other animals, especially nocturnal predators who prefer to be more active at night, who see shades of gray very well, who see monochromatically, which makes them effective at night. During the day like this, however, all these reddish-orange hues with grassy green backgrounds all blend in to be about the same shade of gray. So these cobs to our left, as well as these reddish-colored antelopes to our right, the red lechwe with fuzzy red coats, or even those large, deep reddish-brown antelopes further on off to our right, the East African bongos, who also have white stripes like the kudus we just saw. They too utilize those colors to better camouflage amongst trees. Rarely seen, often hiding far away off in the trees, but seeing them out so close like this is a special treat. We've also got a shaggy dark brown antelope right in the pond up ahead to our left, the Sitatunga. They love being in the water. Let's just pause here for a few extra moments to soak in some of the best views in our entire park and enjoy. Is, without a doubt, one of my favorite places to be. Seeing the bongos to our right, seeing these Sitatungas to our left, just gathered beneath or gathered around those logs in the pond. A view up here is always changing and yet always beautiful. Like being a part of a living painting. We just get to immerse ourselves in. Sometimes I wish I could just stay up here all day. But unfortunately, that's not an option. It would cause traffic jams, it would cause potty accidents, it would cause me to lose my job, and these are all things I'd like to avoid today. So we are going to make our way back. Making our way back to the station, taking a nice casual pace back, passing by everyone once more from this higher end of the field, continuing to take advantage of these moments to pay attention to what we're seeing. But if you are enjoying these views as much as I am, folks, if you enjoy seeing those kudu over beneath the tree to our left-hand side, as well as the more solid brown roan antelopes without white stripes on their coats, seeing all these colors, shapes, and sizes and behaviors of life on Earth, these representatives of biodiversity of our planet that we too are a part of, remember then that you're always welcome back, and you can use a membership to come back year-round. Bring along your family and friends as well. Remember that this is your personal hub to wildlife. Way to check back in with a few more of these cobs down below to our left. Way to connect to the world around us. And remember, whenever you're here, not only to pay attention to what's going on within the fences and fields, but to pay attention to our surroundings as well, on our left and right hand sides, because when we do so, when we look at all these grasses and shrubs, trees, cacti, succulents, looking at their leaves and their flowers, branches, stems, and trunks, what we're looking at might not grab our attentions at first, which I fully understand. Might not be too exciting at first, but when we do so, when we look all around us, looking past these tiny little springboks to our left, naturally tiny and adorable little antelopes, naturally fast and agile runners and jumpers, or the larger, more chocolatey brown sable antelopes just past them. Even if our eyes are drawn to their beautiful nature, they too, sticking together with the herds, protecting one another. Shaggy brown waterbucks just down the hill within that little valley. Up ahead to our left-hand side. We do love them. We do love all the animals you've seen here within our park. But we also love our local wildlife too. All the birds flying around, all the insects crawling about, lizards, snakes, and other reptiles, squirrels, rabbits, mice, and mule deer, and other mammals. Because we know that this is their home as well. We know that they're our neighbors. They deserve their space and our respect, which is why we protect and preserve an additional 800 acres of this coastal sage scrub ecosystem, keeping it as it is for as long as we can. That is, of course, in addition to allowing them to roam about this park as long as it's safe to do so. This is all part of our dedication to leading the fight against extinction, doing whatever, wherever, and whenever we can. Barbary red deer can be seen on the hill to our right. Those reddish deer are the only native deer species to Africa. Those cows with wide horns are encolli cattle, domesticated and bred by encolli breeders in Africa as sort of status symbols, in the same way people sometimes purchase large cars as status symbols. Similar idea there. About as wide as our tram is, door to door, about 6 feet. That's how wide their horns can get. Back over to our left, a close-up view of the Patterson's elands, again the largest antelopes on the planet. Can weigh about 2,000 pounds each.
Wow.
About as heavy as those encolli cattle.
Holy cow.
Gemsbok just up ahead as well to our left. Antelopes with gray coats, black and white striped patterns. They too in their alert circle formation. Using those stripes of theirs as not camouflage, but rather as ways to stand out. Stripes on their faces lining up with their horns, accentuating their length, making them look longer, stronger, more intimidating. Stripes on their bodies like football jersey stripes, making them look bigger and tougher than they already are. Another great, fantastic use of color. Another great adaptation. As we say bye to those Gemsbach and the Elins and all our favorites and friends out here, till the next time you visit, hopefully sooner rather than later, one last snapshot of life out here, life in Africa, life on our planet. Passing by Maoto and the Rhino Rescue Center once more to the left, wishing him and all the rhinos all the best as they help us bring back the northern white rhino from the brink of extinction. And as we now make our way back to the station, thinking about everything you've seen, everything else you might like to experience as you further explore this park, continuing to take your pictures and videos to share with your families and your friends, or maybe even followers on social media, and if so, following our accounts for behind-the-scenes pictures and videos, hint hint. Whatever it is you choose to do, making sure, of course, to stay hydrated, stay cool, stay safe, stay smart. I hope that in between all these busy moments you have, that you remember to take these mental pictures and mental videos with you as well. Your memories. Please don't forget to take your memories with you. As you see, the southern white rhino still resting beneath the tree to our right, still pointing that cup-shaped ear in our direction, listening in, making sure that they know where we are. These African crowned cranes hunting for insects near the water. The tower of giraffes. A large group of giraffes all the way throughout this field, heading up the hills. As you see them all, not just through the lenses of cameras, but through the lenses of your own eyes, listening to them all with your own ears, smelling them all with your own nostrils, really experiencing life firsthand today. I hope that with each of these experiences, it's becoming obvious that they're more than just pictures and picture books and magazines, more than just videos to watch and subscribe to, more than just things to click on and swipe away from at our convenience, more than just these things. Because while these things may be fun and important ways to relive our favorite memories and share them with others, which I highly encourage all of you to do, folks, don't get me wrong, I want you to do that. I want you to share your experiences, your stories, your knowledge, your passion with everyone. In fact, I'm counting on it. All I'm asking is that as you see that little baby giraffe out there to our right, or just a few weeks ago, as you see the others up ahead, the southern white rhinos up on the hill, as you experience them all firsthand today, I hope you just remember that they exist. That's it. Remember that they're real, really alive, really a part of our planet, a part of the ecosystems of life on Earth, a part of what makes life work, what makes life recognizable, what makes life worth living, as they inspire our arts, inform our sciences, shape our histories. They're part of who we are.